Hi, everyone. Just a quick introduction here. I was making this video to talk about forgiveness and how being able to forgive helps us along our ascension path. And all of a sudden, a message came in, and I couldn't ignore it, so I went ahead and put the message in there. So I hope you enjoy it. Give me a thumbs up if you do. Love you all. Bye. So, when we forgive someone, what we are actually doing is we are letting go of judgment. We are letting go of the need for somebody else to take responsibility. There are many thoughts that are floating through the etheric planes at this time that are divisive and do not honor the brother and sisterhood of all that is. We come this day to bring you many blessings of peace and honor that which you are, who you are, what you are becoming, in the sanctity and grace of the one Creator that unites all of us in brotherhood. We share many thoughts with you today to bring enlightenment to those who are now seeking this path of servitude. For many desire to serve in the name of the one Creator that is all things. Many desire to help their brothers and their sisters to attain the lighter frequencies which will help them to ascend. Many people these days upon your earth plane are wondering what's going on because there is so much war and there is so much chaos, there's so much confusion, and the people that are hurting each other. We tell you now that this is not something that you need to be concerned about. We wish that you would not even contemplate it. For when you contemplate these things, we too see and feel those moments upon your earth plane. And we understand that these things must be in order to awaken the mass populace. Yet we tell you that your discomfort with these experiences are also shared by those of us who are now watching over you and assisting humanity in all its grace and glory to fulfill the magnanimous, energetic properties that are now taking place for this ascension. Many of you have already stepped over into your new realities. We recognize this and we honor this. We would like you to know that it is important that you keep moving forward and try not to look back. If you look back, you may lose your footing in moving forward. So be cautious, be careful. Do not stay in one spot for too long. If you look back to see where you have come from and what is going on behind you, pause only for a moment so that you do not lose your footing. If you think of it as walking along a balancing beam, or as this person, Carol, that we now speak through, once accomplished the feat of balancing on a railroad track while moving forward, and took just a moment to look backwards to see where she had come from. And in that moment, could have lost her balance. So it is appropriate to stop for a moment to look backwards at where you have come from and what is going on behind you. But we tell you truthfully that if you pause for too long, you may very well lose your balance. So do not pause for lengthy moments in looking backwards. It is the Sodom and Gomorrah story. Do not look backwards for too long. You may lose your balance and lose your way. There are many things to address this day for many of you who come to this channel to participate in the understanding and the knowledge that we all have to share with you. And so we see who you are, we understand where you are at and what it is that you are going through. And where we would like this conversation to go to in this moment, in the grace and glory of the one Creator that is, we find within all of you the connection of the higher consciousness. There are several of you who are moving into the 11th hour, so to speak, and several of you who are already in the 11th hour and moving into the 12th hour. And what we mean by that is to say that if you think of it as the hands on a clock, that when the hands on the clock reach the middle portion, the 12 o'clock point, the 12th hour, that is when you begin to step over into your power. That is when you begin to step over into embracing and actualizing who you are as a self-realized being on this planet called Earth. It is when you move into the 12th hour, it is when you begin to become who you truly are. When you move into the 13th hour, you are then who you truly are. As you move in to the 12th hour, you will begin to experience forms of identity crisis, because who you were no longer applies to who you are becoming as you move into the 12th hour. For those of you who have been in the 12th hour for a moment or two, you are now acclimated more to the fullness of who you are and preparing to move into the 13th hour. In order to move into the 13th hour, where you are actually that which you are, you must assist those who are in the 11th hour and who are only now moving into the 12th hour. And the reason for this assistance of others is because it will help you to more firmly actualize who you are and who you are becoming. Therefore, we tell you to seek to actively participate in the growth of those who are moving into the 12th hour, who are even moving into the 11th hour, for you may reach behind you to assist those who are coming along. Do not hesitate for long periods in looking backwards or in surmising where you have come from and where you are going to. Take only brief moments to look at it. For in truth, time is only an illusion that is needed in order to create this reality. Once you move past the constraints of time and even of space, then all becomes now. It becomes in this moment. And the actualization process of who you truly are then begins to merge with all that you are now in this moment. Therefore, we seek to tell you that many of you who watch these videos are in the 11th hour. A few are moving into the 11th hour. Most are in the 11th hour. And some are moving into the 12th hour, and a few are already in the 12th hour, preparing to move into the 13th hour. And in the 13th hour is when you become fully self-actualized. It is when the time constraints and the space constraints fall away, and all that you are, that you have always been, comes into full view, into actualization. Those of you who are in the 12th hour and have been in the 12th hour for a moment or two are beginning to realize this. You are beginning to realize that you are so much more, and not just the realization that takes place in the mind as a concept, but in your everyday experiences. You are beginning to see the synchronistic moments that are occurring for you. You are beginning to see and experience the instant manifestation of that which you desire. You are beginning to realize how this is done and how to perpetuate it, how to keep the ball moving forward so that it does not become stationary or stuck in one spot. You are beginning to see that as you think it and desire it, so it is manifesting for you. And you are probably beginning to realize that letting go of that thought process and the focus on it has made a big difference in how quickly these things materialize and manifest for you. Welcome aboard. You are now preparing for the 13th hour. In this preparation between the last part of the 12th hour and moving into the 13th hour will come many realizations, many moments of euphoria, and many moments of epiphany where the light bulb suddenly clicks on and you understand what you have been doing and where you are now and where you are going. And you are understanding that it is about the joy of this moment. It is not about the fear, and it is not about the chaos. And you will find yourself looking at what is happening around you in the world at large, and you will participate in your social media platforms and the news and trying to understand through the context of the mind and the thoughts what is happening. But you will also in those moments understand that you cannot allow yourself to be bogged down by these conflicts that are occurring around you. You are beginning to understand the importance of remaining true to yourself, to be remaining sovereign unto yourself and to your Creator. You are beginning to feel and to realize the vastness that you are, and that there is so much more that is happening that others cannot see. Allow yourself to be at peace with that thought. Allow yourself to be at peace with those feelings. Do not try to force them forward onto others, nor to even expect that others will understand what you are feeling, what you are saying, what you are seeing, what you are doing. They will come along in their own time, whether it is this ascension process or the next one. And we will tell you that there is only one more after this time before the planet Earth has fulfilled its life cycle. So those who do not complete their ascension process now will do so at a future time when they are ready. So do not fret for them. Do not allow yourself to get caught in the illusion of the space-time trap, for it is an illusion. It is used to create these realities that are experienced through the mind-body-spirit connection, but they are still an illusion, because who you are in truth, in its reality, in its fullness, is much, much more, and it's much more vast. These things you will naturally and easily come to understand and to experience for those who are in the last half of the 12th hour and going into the 13th hour. For those who are just coming into the 12th hour, you too are beginning to see the results of instant manifestation. But it is just a beginning process for you, unlike those who are midway through and preparing for the 13th hour. For you, for them, they are experiencing it continuously. For those who are just now stepping into the 12th hour, you are just now beginning to see it happen, to experience the manifestation, the miracles of what you can create when you simply desire it and then let go. Allow it to be. As you do this more often, it will happen more frequently and quicker. The trick for you, for those who are just now entering into the 12th hour, is especially important that you keep your focus as positively oriented as possible. Therefore, social media and the news stations, the information that is being put out there can be highly toxic for you, can be detrimental for you in your path, because those who are just now entering into the 12th hour are still trying to weed out the negative signals, the signals that are promoting fear and desolation and desperation and sadness, deterioration of the human condition. You must train yourself to either stay away from that until you have moved further into the 12th hour, or you must train yourself to let go of what it is that everybody else and every media source is trying to inform you of. The energy is to keep one stuck in fear, in desolation, in judgment. If you are in fear and desolation, if you are in judgment of others for whatever reason, then you are carrying a heavy load that will hinder your progress through the 12th hour. It will make it difficult for you to move further into the 12th hour. This is because it will hold you back. It will mire you down. It becomes the energies for the 12th hour are much higher. And so when you are carrying the baggage of these negative thoughts and vibrations of frustrations and judgment and irritation and anger, you are carrying heavy energies, which makes it very difficult for you to move through the 12th hour. So you must find a way of letting go of that. If you cannot let go of it, if you cannot participate in the social media, in watching the news, and learn how to let go of it, then you must withhold yourself from participating in it so that your energies will not become heavy and hold you back. For those of you who are in the 11th hour and preparing to move into the 12th hour, this is even more so for you. The importance of not getting caught up in the negativity that is being perpetuated in the news media and on social media. You must take extra care and extra caution not to allow yourself to get pulled into this negative energy. The difference between being in the last part of the 11th hour and entering into the first part of the 12th hour, the difference is that the 11th hour energies are heavier. They're not as light as the 12th hour energies. So the 11th hour energies do not bog you down so much. You are carrying almost an equal load. But if you can learn how to let go of those negative feelings, thoughts, and emotions, then your passage through the 11th hour will become quicker. It will become easier because you are not carrying that. Whereas in the 12th hour, if you are carrying it, it holds you back and it creates obstacles for you, and you can feel it because the energy in the 12th hour is lighter. It is not as heavy. It is the difference, the 12th hour and the 11th hour energies, the difference is the 11th hour is water or earth, and the 12th hour is air or fire. And so it is much lighter. That is the burning off of the dross energies, the letting go of the past experiences and the judgments that came with it. As in the 11th hour, you are still understanding and learning how to let go of it, and that is fine. But if you can let go of it, your journey into the 12th hour becomes that much quicker because it is easier to move through it. We hope that this explanation helps you all in this time now at hand for those who are moving forward on their path in their ascension. We are all here to help you. We are all applauding you in that which you have done and that which you are doing and that which will be in the time frame of the human experience. For many glorious moments are ahead for those who are able to move forward from the 11th hour into the 12th hour. And then for those who will be moving into the 13th hour. Let it be known that not all of you will move into the 13th hour. That is not what you have decided on for this lifetime. It is not a detrimental thing. It is not a bad thing. It is not a negative thing. It is not a good thing. It is simply is. And it is a way of experiencing life in your existence and who you are on a different realm, in a different identity, in the sense of um, personality, in the sense of becoming one with the divine consciousness. So this is what happens when we move into the 13th hour, is that our personality identities are more of a back seat phenomenon than in the driver's seat. Moving into the 13th hour is when one becomes actualized, and that which we all are is then in the driver's seat rather than in the back seat. While in the 12th hour, your personality of who you are in this lifetime is still in the driver's seat, while we all are still in the back seat. It is neither good nor bad, it simply is. So be at peace with where you are and with your growth process during these times of ascension, and focus on not allowing yourselves to be pulled back into negative thoughts and emotions. Practice your ability to forgive. Remember that forgiving is done for yourself and not for the other. Remember that the purpose of forgiveness is to lighten your load so that you may move forward more quickly. Being unable to forgive others for any reason serves only to hinder you and has little effect on those you refuse to forgive. So practice your forgiveness, knowing that we are all the same and simply having different expressions of who we are, experiencing different expressions of who we are, experiencing life in a different way, so that we may all learn whatever it is that we came here to learn. So do not hold judgment against those who are learning in a manner other than what you may or may not feel is appropriate. Allow everyone their own method of experiencing life and learning whatever it is that they came here to learn. Release your judgment so that you may ascend quicker. Learning how to forgive begins with forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself, and it is more easy to forgive others. Know that you are young gods with a small g. You are the children. And so mistakes are bound to happen. But you are learning, and you are learning well. You must all hug yourselves and hug each other, for you have done extremely well. We wish many blessings upon you now and forever, in the name of the one Creator that is always within as well as without. We bid thee adieu in peace and blessings, in grace and glory of the one Creator. Selah.